The Intercept.com, dated March 23rd, 2016 at 4:57 p.m. by Robert Mackey. The caption reads, quote, University of California adopts policy linking anti-Zionism to anti-Semitism. Unquote, the caption. Article reads, quote, the regents of the University of California unanimously adopted a new policy on discrimination on Wednesday that links anti-Semitism to opposition to Zionism, the ideology asserting that the Jewish people have a right to a nation-state in historic Palestine. At a meeting in San Francisco, the UC Board of Regents approved a working group's recommendation for a set of principles against intolerance that accepts the argument that manifestations of anti-Semitism have changed as a result of debates over Israel on college campuses, and expressions of anti-Semitism are more coded and difficult to identify. In particular, opposition to Zionism often is expressed in ways that are not simply statements of disagreement over politics and policy, but also assertions of prejudice and intolerance toward Jewish people and culture. I'm going to unquote that article because it's pretty long. I'll tell you something. Anyone knows this channel knows I'm Jewish. Regardless if the state of Israel is there or not, I will still remain Jewish, as well as every Jew on planet Earth. I can understand that the times have changed, and a lot of people that are non-Jewish, not everyone around the world, of course, but a good amount of people, when they think Zionist, they're really thinking at the same time Jewish. Actually, I think I put a video up called Think Jew, Say Zionist, or something like that. But nevertheless, the Jewish people were in exile for centuries before the State of Israel came into being in 1948 as an actual sovereign state. Under King David, we had our statehood as well. I guess my whole point as in reference to this article is concerned, is that, like I said before, let's say if you wipe the state of Israel off the earth, which will never happen because they're quite well endowed there as far as the military and intelligence is concerned. But let's say if that doesn't exist, if it didn't exist, the state of Israel, the Jewish people will still be here. So you don't really need Zionism or the state of Israel or the Jewish homeland to be a Jew. It'd be nice. It's nice when you have your own statehood. Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm not putting down the state of Israel. I'm just saying that you don't need the state of Israel to be Jewish. Now, so as far as Zionism is concerned, I've always looked in terms of Zionism as really a two-parter. That is, one part has history to it, has historic reference to it, and then the other part of it is it's a political ideology which governs the state of Israel. As a Jew, if you took Zionism out of the picture, if you took the idea of the historic reference out of the picture on Mount Zion and all that, and you also take out the political ideology of Zionism, you'd still have the Jewish people. I'd still be a Jew regardless if those two components are in place or not. Now, the historic historic reference is a little bit more difficult, especially for the religious Jews, because they equate the historic land with the state of Israel. Now, I'm not talking about the ultra-Orthodox Jews that are against the state of Israel. I'm talking about conservative Jews, even Orthodox Jews that are more or less, they prefer to wait for the Mashiach, but they won't make a lot of trouble because the state of Israel is there. But still, they use the historic reference, like the temples, first, second temples, as a historic reference to say that this land is ours. Especially, like I said, especially the religious people. You can even be a liberal or Reformed Jew and still think the same way. But if you take that religious, historic reference out of the picture, and you take the political ideology out of the picture, I'd still be Jewish, as well as all the Jews out there will still be Jewish. So, what I'm trying to say here is a little difficult, but what I'm trying to say is that you don't need Zionism to be Jewish. It's really an oxymoron, is what it is. Is like, if anyone knows my channel, I don't even believe in God. I don't believe in God. But yet my Jewish brethren, or people that I know in my own life, accept me as Jewish. In fact, my own rabbi here in Oklahoma knows I'm atheist, and he always invites me over to his temple because he thinks maybe in the long run that I'll finally get religious again, maybe. I don't know. But he always invites me. Always invites me. The only reason why I'd show up, and I actually told him this, is for the food. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But so I'm always Jewish, regardless if you have Zionism attached to it or not. So in reference to this article, they're sort of playing with the wordage a little bit. Now, anti-Semitism is, for the most part, accepted in reference to the Jewish people. But there are other Semitic people, don't get me wrong. But for the most part, anti-Semitism is normally thought of in terms of the Jewish people. Now, that's different, because there are a lot of those that are very anti-Jewish people. Anti-Zionism, look, you either accept the state of Israel as it is or you don't. But, I mean, you don't even have to accept me as a Jewish person. I mean, you might not like me. I don't know. But, in other words, I'd rather have you think in terms of me as a Jewish person, as a Jew in my own right, as well as all the other Jews out there, rather than thinking of us in terms of Zionism, or in terms of being a Zionist. Because, in fact, when I think of myself as a Jew, I'm not thinking of myself as a Zionist. I'm thinking of myself as a Jewish person. And so they sort of twisted that a little around, this University of California, the regents of the University of California. I sort of understand there because of modern phrasing and things that are going on these days, but a Jew is a Jew is a Jew. You know, I don't, you can't slice, dice, or mince any of that. You either are Jewish or you're not Jewish. Doesn't matter if you believe in God or not. I know that mixes up the Gentiles, but that's the truth. So I don't want this video to go too long here, but which it has. But yeah, you could take Zionism out of the picture, and the Jewish people will still be on the earth. On the other hand, if you took the Jewish people off the earth, what's the point of Zionism? And on that note, you guys have a good one.